Yeah, little fish. I say, Lord, be my savior when it comes to getting this paper. Please protect me from my haters. Just say me and I won't save her. Say amen. Amen, 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 yeah. Amen. That boys and they can't win. Can't win, can't win, can't win, can't win. Jet. Blowing up. We in it, we gonna. Blowing up. Did it like my persona. Blowing up. Ripping them fast on us. We used to drive them Hondas. Now we pull up in the Fondas. Glow up. Walking. Show up. Baby, hold up. Glow up. Boy, don't touch. We flow up. Yeah. Ooh, I'm laughing to the bank. All new blue Benny Franks. Pulled up on him in the tank. Yeah, that guy just a rap guy. I'm so mad fly in, he ain't. Let me back tight, gave me until I was going on Miami. They all cornballs. They can't stand me. I finesse. All them. I hear. Get a plan. Let's go that my whoa. No low. Got strain on yo. She post up.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley.
Thank you, Larry. It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look live there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles. On the return, Fitzgerald to Son. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And right away, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 32 that time. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular. And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he'll just get rid of this one deep. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, they took the shot, didn't get it. There's definitely a difference here because they had a chance to get 7, maybe 8 if they pushed it. Instead, they'll likely settle for 3.
Yeah, opening drive, holding him to 3. Psychologically, maybe a win for the defense. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? at about the 18-yard line, it looks like. They go play action here on first down. It's hauled in by Torrey Smith. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Torrey Smith, 82 yards. And the Eagles have taken the early lead.
Partner, you know the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. I thought the days of the fake extra point were numbered once they moved these kicks back to the 15. Apparently, I was mistaken.
Yeah, I was wondering who was ever going to try to do this. In fact, I couldn't wonder. I didn't think it would ever happen. Taking a fake from the 15-yard line to try and pick up an extra point, I didn't think anyone would ever call this.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Brandon Graham in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Here are the starters on defense for the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles.
How about a quick look back at 2017 and how they got to the Super Bowl? The defensive side contributed greatly. Fletcher Cox at defensive tackle. Malcolm Jenkins at safety. Brandon Graham, defensive end. They were established guys, but they picked up Chris Long last year in free agency. How about Jalen Mills emerging at cornerback? Traded for Ronald Darby.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Vinny Curry in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Eagles will take over here in just a second on offense. And Charles, as you look back to the Super Bowl title run that they just had, what were some of the moves that made that possible?
I'll keep it on the offensive side of the ball because I thought their front office did a fantastic job of having answers in case things happen. Carson Wentz goes out. Well, they had signed Nick Foles to back him up. That worked out pretty well. Getting Alshon Jeffrey as a weapon outside to help them in the passing game. Darren Sproles gets hurt at running back. Corey Clement was signed as an undrafted free agent. He filled in well, and they traded for Jay Ajayi. And how about Jason Peters? Vitae, who they drafted the year before.
Roll him out right. And he can't quite bring 2nd down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football. have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Well, that certainly looked like the Torrey Smith we knew in Baltimore. A guy who can just run past defenses, and what do they say? Take the top right off of them.
Game-changing speed, and the days in Baltimore good, days in San Fran not so great, but now hoping to get back to his former self.
I would say they haven't.
He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Torrey Smith with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles add on to their lead. So a tiptoe catch back in the end zone. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And bringing it in, this is Selleck over the middle. And he gets in. When no one was expecting a fake there, but they add two more onto their lead. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts.
I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll go again with Bell. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Well, that was better than the first go-around when he lost yardage, but still nothing there, and that sets up a 3rd and long. Tough spot here.
Put it mildly. Sometimes I wonder if some of that old-school football...
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Here's Foles, escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. Flush to his right. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Ajayi escapes him, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi taking it in from the 20, and the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
Well, pardon me, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he finds his tight end, Saleh. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They've got this big lead. They said, forget one. We want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable that they even attempted from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you've got a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. 3rd and 2, now Roethlisberger. He completes it to Bryant. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Vinny Curry in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Man open left side is Brown. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And McDonald here over the middle. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd.
Different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. 2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. Over the middle, and It's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target, and it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, an 18-yard touchdown. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. That is good, and that'll make it 20-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Now we get a look at Torrey Smith as he comes back out onto the field. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Foles. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. So we've come to halftime here in Philly. Sorry, Larry, your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. Now Foles. Flushed out right. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter if they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's no chaos back there. And receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
They'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Another nice gain. 13 yards that time and another first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
They'll set up a throw. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. That was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled, and they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump off. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
They got 29 yards that time.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Over the middle to Smith. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Torrey Smith, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And around the goal line, especially on two-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it, because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius, as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked.